line to make my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait, cook it up.
Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 1. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball at the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try the left side. Swift. He's got a first down and more past the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Hey, 5-0! Check mark 33. Check mark 33. Hey, Alpha.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Open man is Golladay, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Set, 250, 21. I got one. Single. Mark check 33. Monday. We own it. Switch.
On first down, Stafford here. Well, it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Set, 180. You can't block me. Double right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Suckup, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast. But
touchdown, Detroit! Kenny Golladay, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Flush to his right. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jamie Collins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Tackles.
Throwing on second down. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I'd throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
Here we go.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Double right.
Throwing is Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. 18 yards to pick up there.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Middle. Mike is 59. Middle. I got you, boy. Hey, Red.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
I'm coming. Mike 5'9". I'm going to come back to you. Mike.
Now it's Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
50.
Stafford now to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Get ready. Ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards into Chicago, first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vince Beagle. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. 27 yards there, a first down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there, and in a big way.
Go to base. Mike 51. Hey, check.
2nd and 14. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make it 24-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk with a 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And the Lions first down.
Stafford now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10.
32.
From the gun, here's Stafford. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again at Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
We got trips over here. Trips over here. There's overload.
Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 20.
Mike, check 33. 33.
Hey, Zoo. Don't let him breathe. Play that time.
Again, it's Stafford. And now he'll tuck it and run. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. And they give this time to the tailback. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Set. Blue 60.
Here I come.
Like 7. Bravo.
58 to Mike. Go 58 to Mike.
Yeah, let's go sack one.
Real right. 22. 32.
They'll run it with Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They've got the comfortable lead. Decision time here. Do they go for it, press their luck?
Listen, if I'm the head coach, I take my headset off. I turn to my defense and say, guess what, guys? We're going for it right here, right now. I want the knockout shot. And if it doesn't happen, you've got my back, don't you? Go get it.
And if you don't get it, the other offense, they've got a long way to go in the other direction. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They come out here in the eye. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Here we go with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Zebra. Hey, Delta.
Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check three. Monday.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jamie Collins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded at about the 28. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
First down, Detroit.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check safety.
21. Zebra. Drill right. 22.
Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Hey, 54.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to launch it for Washington. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
It's 2nd and 8.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Alert!
You got nothing. Kill. Check your hot read. Deuce.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Stafford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The end result, 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Caught by Montgomery. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The catch is made by Riley Ridley. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A gain of 7. It's 4th down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Robinson's got it. The 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears cut into that lead. Looking to throw. Able to find Shaheen here. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
He's 20. Zero. Easy alert. Hey, echo.
To throw is Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
40 got.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Alert! 58, boys, 58. Hey. Buzz.
To the air again, Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Geronimo Allison, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point put through by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 1. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. It's Desmond Trufant, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
34 yards there at a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 31 yards. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. He'll drop to throw. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Ryan looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Second and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Jamie Collins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. He'll look to throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14.
That's good for a Bears first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Coleman. Those INTs all sting when you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
32.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20.
We play to win.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.